3 parts in, the comment section is still finding gaps. Part 1 was the everyday trailers, the ones moving the majority of freight on the planet. Part 2 was the heavy specialists and bulk haulers. Part 3 was the mechanical ones, trailers defined by how they move, load, and unload rather than just by their shape. Part 4 goes in two directions. One direction is into extraction and mining haul, the semi-truck trailers built specifically around the brutality of moving raw materials out of the ground and onto public roads. The other direction is up, literally, into a stacking configuration a viewer sent in as an image that stopped me cold the first time I saw it. A commenter pointed out I had missed dump trailers used for coal. He was right. But coal hauling is not one trailer. It is a system. Let's get into it. The coal body end dump. The standard construction end dump covered in Part 2 carries 20 to 26 tons, 44,000 to 57,000 pounds, in a body built for general aggregate and construction debris. It works well for the job it was designed for. Coal hauling is a different job, and the trailer built for it reflects that difference in every dimension. A coal body end dump runs with a high-sided body, typically 6 to 7 feet tall on the sides, or 1.8 to 2.1 meters, compared to the lower sides of a standard construction dump. The reason is density. Coal is significantly lighter by volume than gravel or crushed rock, which means to reach the maximum legal payload weight on a public road you need to carry a larger volume. The high sides allow the trailer to be filled to a legal weight while carrying the full volume that weight of coal represents. The body itself is made from hardened abrasion-resistant steel, typically AR 400 or AR 450 grade, because coal coming off a conveyor or out of a loader carries fine particles that act like sandpaper against any surface they contact repeatedly. A standard mild steel body would wear through in months on a coal run. The hardened body survives the abrasive load long enough to justify the additional cost. Total combination weight on a legal public road run in the US is typically 80,000 pounds, about 36 tons, roughly the weight of 5 adult male polar bears in the US, or about 24 average European family cars loaded and driving. In Australia, where road train regulations allow higher weights on approved routes, coal and dump combinations run significantly heavier, up to 130 tons in some configurations, about the weight of 85 average European cars, or 57 fully loaded American pickup trucks, all consolidated onto a single trailer. The cycle on a coal haul route is relentless. Load at the mine or processing plant, drive to the power station, port, or rail transfer. Tip, return empty. On a short haul cycle of 20 to 30 miles, 32 to 48 kilometers, a single truck and driver completes 8 to 12 cycles per shift. The trailer body takes that loading and tipping cycle, that volume of abrasive material, that weight, every single day. The engineering has to last. The super dump. The super dump is the solution to a specific problem in on-highway aggregate and coal hauling that has nothing to do with the trailer body and everything to do with axles. Road weight limits in the US are calculated per axle. The more axles carrying the load, the more total weight is legal. A standard end dump with a fixed axle configuration reaches its legal weight limit at a certain payload. The super dump pushes that limit higher by adding a trailing axle, called a strong arm or a tag axle, that extends behind the rear of the trailer on a hydraulic arm. When the trailer is loaded, the tag axle deploys downward and rearward, contacting the road surface and adding another axle group to the weight distribution calculation. A standard end dump might be legal at 80,000 pounds, 36 tons. The same trailer with a deployed tag axle can carry up to 80% more legal payload depending on axle spacing and state regulations, up to around 26 tons of payload, 57,000 pounds, where a standard configuration might carry 16 to 18 tons. When the trailer is empty and returning for the next load, the tag axle retracts hydraulically, lifting clear of the road surface. The trailer handles like a standard end dump on the return run. No drag, no unnecessary tire wear on an unloaded axle. The tag axle only works when the weight is there to justify it. The economics are straightforward. More legal payload per trip means fewer trips for the same volume of material. Fewer trips means less fuel, less driver time, less wear on the tractor. On a high-volume aggregate or coal operation running hundreds of loads per week, the additional payload capacity of a super dump configuration compounds into significant cost savings over a full season. The super dump is common enough in the northeastern United States, where road weight laws are enforced strictly and payload optimization is the primary competitive lever for aggregate haulers. The drivers in that region see them daily without necessarily knowing what the trailing axle mechanism is called. The frameless dump. Every dump trailer covered so far, the end dump, the coal body, the super dump configuration, is a framed trailer. A structural steel frame runs the length of the trailer, the dump body sits on top of that frame, and the hydraulic hoist lifts the body away from the frame to tip the load. Frame and body are two separate components. The frameless dump eliminates the frame entirely. The body itself is the structure. The trailer body is engineered with sufficient rigidity that it carries the load, transmits all road forces through itself, and mounts directly to the axles without a separate frame beneath it. The weight saving is the entire point. Removing the frame removes 2,000 to 4,000 pounds, 900 to 1,800 kilograms, from the trailer's empty weight, roughly the weight of a compact car in the US or a large touring motorcycle and its rider in Europe. On a vehicle governed by legal total weight limits, every pound removed from the trailer is a pound that can be added to the payload. A frameless dump that is 3,000 pounds lighter than a comparable frame trailer carries 3,000 more pounds of coal, gravel, or aggregate on every single load. The trade-off is that the body takes all the structural stress directly, with no frame to absorb and distribute it. Frameless dump bodies are thicker and made from higher grade steel than framed body equivalents to compensate. They also require more careful maintenance inspection because any crack or fatigue in the body structure is a crack in the structural member itself, not just the cargo box. In quarry and mining operations running high cycle rates with abrasive material, the payload advantage of a frameless dump across a full operating season consistently outweighs the maintenance premium. That calculation is why frameless dumps dominate in heavy aggregate and coal hauling wherever payload optimization is the priority. The bottom dump coal train. The belly dump covered in Part 2 was a single trailer unit, one hopper body, one set of clamshell gates, one tractor pulling it. The bottom dump coal train takes that concept and scales it into a multi-trailer semi-combination, built specifically for high-volume mine-to-plant haul routes. A bottom dump coal train typically connects 2 or 3 belly dump trailers behind a single tractor using converter dollies between them. Similar in concept to the doubles covered in Part 2, but built heavier, with larger hopper bodies and higher payload capacities for the specific demands of coal and aggregate haul roads. The combination runs between 70 and 110 feet long, 21 to 33 meters, about the length of 2.5 standard semi-trucks bumper-to-bumper in the US, or roughly 3 standard European articulated buses and convoy in Europe. Total payload per combination reaches 50 to 70 tons, 110,000 to 154,000 pounds, roughly the weight of 7 to 10 adult African elephants in the US, or 35 to 48 average European family cars, all riding together on one moving combination. The operational advantage over end dumps on a high-volume route is continuous discharge. A bottom dump coal train opening its gates while moving slowly forward deposits a continuous row of material across the full length of the route segment in a single pass. A reclaim conveyor or a grader follows behind and moves the deposited material to its final position. The combination never stops. It loads, runs, deposits, and cycles back. On a power station supply route running 24 hours a day, that continuous deposit capability removes the bottleneck that individual tipping trailers create at the dump point. The double stack road container combination. A viewer sent in an image that stopped this series in its tracks. A combination navigating a roundabout at a port, marked oversize, carrying 4 20-foot shipping containers arranged in 2 stacks of 2, each stack carried in a bright yellow hydraulic clamping frame, the whole combination stretching behind a single semi-tractor. This is a double stack road container combination, a system designed to move 2 containers per chassis movement instead of 1, cutting the number of truck trips required to clear a container terminal by nearly half. The container chassis covered in Part 1 carries 1 container on a minimal steel backbone frame, locked at 4 corner points with twist locks. Simple, proven, and limited to 1 container per trip. The double stack system adds a second container on top of the first, and carries both simultaneously. But the engineering challenge is not the stacking itself. Port straddle carriers do that all day at walking speed on flat terminal ground. The challenge is doing it on a semi-truck that then has to navigate real road geometry, roundabouts, curves, grade changes, and the lateral forces that cornering at road speed generates, with a combined center of gravity sitting 18 to 20 feet, 5.5 to 6 meters, off the ground. That height is roughly level with the roof of a 2-story house in the US, or the second floor ceiling of a standard European 3-story residential building. Everything above that point is cargo, moving at road speed through a roundabout. The yellow frames visible in the image are not passive structural supports. They are active clamping mechanisms, hydraulically controlled arms that grip the upper container at its corner castings and hold it rigidly to the lower container through cornering, braking, and acceleration. The system prevents any relative movement between the 2 containers while simultaneously allowing the trailer to articulate normally through curves. The economics driving this development are port congestion. Major container terminals in Australia, New Zealand, and parts of Europe are at or beyond capacity for the number of road truck movements required to shift containers from ship to warehouse. Doubling the container count per semi-truck movement without doubling the number of trucks is one of the few available levers to reduce that congestion without building new road infrastructure. The Z-Flow system, visible in the image, is one of several competing engineering approaches to the same problem, each with a different solution to the stability and clamping challenge. The combination runs approximately 65 to 75 feet, 20 to 23 meters, about the length of 2 double-decker buses parked bumper to bumper in Europe, or roughly the height of a 7-story building lying on its side in the US. It operates under oversized permit conditions, which is why the oversized placard is visible at the rear. It is not yet a standard road configuration in any jurisdiction. It is still in the trial and regulatory approval phase in the markets where it has been tested. But the direction is clear. Port infrastructure is not expanding fast enough to match container volume growth. The trailers have to carry more per trip. The double stack road combination is one answer to that problem, and the image that viewer sent in is evidence that the answer is already moving on public roads. 4 parts. 40-something trailers. All of them semi-truck and trailer combinations. All of them built because a specific freight problem existed that nothing else could solve. The coal body and dump built from hardened steel because regular steel wears through in months. The super dump adding a single trailing axle that transforms the legal payload of the same trailer. The frameless dump removing the frame entirely and handing every pound saved directly to the payload. The bottom dump coal train depositing material in a continuous row across an entire route segment without stopping once. And a double stack container combination, navigating a roundabout at a port that might represent the next generation of intermodal road freight. Every trailer in this series started as a problem someone could not solve with what already existed. The solutions are what you see on the road every day without knowing what you were looking at. If there is a part 5, and there might be, the comment section will build it. Tell me what I missed below.